Last year, Seiko fans around the world were stirred into a frenzy of excitement when the Japanese firm announced the release of a watch based on a famous timepiece from blockbuster film Apocalypse Now. This year, they are releasing two more references inspired by the watch worn by Captain Willard, but this time they aren't limited edition and are significantly more affordable. Put your hands together for the new Seiko SPB151J and Seiko SPB153J, two new pieces based on the classic reference 6105 wristwatch that shot to fame on the silver screen. First, taking a look at the Seiko SPB151J, it maintains a close relation to the original 6105 and the reissue that we saw last year. It has the same matte black dial and wide black bezel that sits proudly above the rest of the case, and the hands are also very similar. The one exception is a slight point at their tip compared to the squared-off batten hands of the other watches. On the dial of the Seiko SPB151J, we have those same bold lume-filled hour markers, a date window at 3 o'clock, and the Prospex X logo at the bottom of the dial. One point of difference that works perfectly with this watch is the brushed steel bracelet. While it looks like it should always have been sold on a bracelet, the previous examples of this watch were always sold on rubber tropic-style straps. It's a change, but one that looks fantastic. Turning our attention to the Seiko SPB153J, the new olive green dial and bezel is a refreshing shift from the black that we've always seen on versions of this watch. The muted green reminds of something that could very well have found its way onto the wrist of an army captain in the jungles of Vietnam. The dial has a brushed effect that really works, and it comes on a black patterned silicone strap that is extremely comfortable on the wrist. It doesn't have the same waffle style texture of the original 6105, but that just reminds you it is a modern watch with vintage design cues rather than a one-to-one recreation. Both the Seiko SPB151J and the Seiko SPB153J are powered by the automatic caliber 6R35 that has a power reserve of 70 hours. The steel case of both watches measures in at 42.7mm in diameter, but a relatively slim 13.2mm in thickness. This, as well as the slightly curved case profile, makes for a watch that sits very comfortably on your wrist. True to my word, neither of these watches are limited in production numbers, and the price is very hard to argue with. The Seiko SPB151J on the stainless steel bracelet has an Australian recommended retail price of $1,995. The Seiko SPB153J on a rubber strap has an Australian recommended retail price of $1,695. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe to Time+Tide. Thanks for watching.